My mic sound nice. Check 2. Shout out to Salt and Pepper Spinderella. This is JP Green, aka Mr. Mo Better. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter as such. This is the Get Back Show. We'd like to welcome you to another Saturday on the Get Back Show. It is another Saturday, I should say sunny Saturday in downtown Dallas. We're overlooking Thanksgiving Square. I don't know if we have that shot up right now, but Jedi just gave me the no look. So we don't have the Thanksgiving Square shot in there. We'll get it in sometime today. But if you're ever looking for us, we're at 211 North Hervé, 9th floor, ER Factory. If you're looking for somewhere to land, if you have a show or a podcast you want to get off or get down with. But also, if you're an entrepreneur in the city and you happen to find yourself downtown and you want to pull up on us and get in a quick interview, there's no excuses. 211 North Hervé. You can DM us, any one of us on the show. Jasmine's trying to get her life together over here with this phone. She's trying to get her shot just right.
Not working.
As I said, any entrepreneurs out there, any of my friends that know that I'm on the radio show, please don't wait for me to ask you to come on the show. I don't want to hear that when I see you.
That butt
you
here,
can,
boy.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? In the words of DC Young Fly, bring that here. You know what I mean? 211 North Hervé, Dallas on there. Shout out to Jedi Jansen. He's our engineer, owner of Dallas on there. It's my dude.
What's up, man? Welcome back.
Hey, it's good. It's good to be back in the house.
Absolutely. I love when you have a big crew on board. It always makes for an interesting show. You got good guests.
It does. We're gonna go a few places today. Shout out to Izzy.
Can I have that microphone, by the way? Like, check
you like
that out right there.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I've
and
had this for a while.
shout out to Bach. Hopefully he doesn't have any more dreams in the middle of the show today. Bach was dreaming. I could hear him when I read the playback.
Hey, listen, true story. Sorry to interrupt, but last night we had Paul Wall in the building, right? Well, Bach was the bigger star than Paul Wall. Not even joking. Like, people were like wanting to take their pictures with Bach more than Paul Wall.
Bach,
Crazy.
Bach is
He
popping in these streets. Bach is hot in these streets. I thought y'all knew. You need to get him his own IG account.
Yeah.
And get him some likes. You know what I'm saying? Get him some IG followers.
He is pretty.
Yeah.
Well, I did tweet him out last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
saw that. I retweeted that. I
Bach's gonna
retweeted
be
that.
more famous than me, y'all.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, you heard enough about me. Let me open up this table so my co-hosts can introduce themselves. To my left, I have.
This is Jade Nicole Jasmine on the mic. What's up?
And to my right, I have
Isaiah Engel at Isaiah E on Twitter.
There we have it. Those are my two co-hosts, my compadres in this whole thing. This is why we get down. And to the far left, we have in studio with us. Who do we have?
You got Tad Nips, also known as DJ Spin That.
Spin that.
DJ Spin That. We have J Clip on the way. DJ Phil is going to call in, and Bolati is supposed to be here, which I'm about to text him. So if you watching this and you know Bolati, just let him know he's about to get a little text.
For you, fool.
He's about to get a text because I ain't get a response from him. So today we're going to talk about, today's show is about the business of being a DJ. It's called That's My Go DJ. That's My DJ. Everybody knows the song.
Go DJ.
And we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But we're going to catch up. We're going to catch up a little bit and see how everybody's week went. We had a little bit of pre-catch-up conversation before the show got started. We're going to start with you, Jazz. What you have going on this week?
Man, so I am about to help with a music video for the artist Two-Face from Chicago. So I have been working with him to get this whole music video together, working on production. And today we have a casting call at 3 to 5 at Mockingbird Station. So make sure that all the ladies come through. Try to be fly. Don't try, just be fly. And hopefully we can get you a part.
Okay. Is that it? How was your week, though? How was this past week for you?
We're not going to talk about my week, but it was a week. We're just going to say that. At least it's over, and I'm just optimistic about the next week to come.
I got you. I'm still waiting for you to bring my little buddy up here so we can continue that conversation we had that night. He called me.
Man, y'all, my child is a mess.
So her son I don't know how he got her phone, but he called me one night and we literally talked for like 15 minutes. I don't know what he was talking about, but all I kept saying was, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. He was going at it. He was telling me something.
And that must mean he likes you, because I just want to let you know he doesn't talk to anybody else on the phone. If you hand him the phone, he'll just sit there and smile, and then he'll go, bye, 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 over and
That's
over
it.
again.
Well, JP love the kids. I have that effect on them, you know. Speaking of, mine will be in studio in just a little bit. And how's your week been, buddy?
It's been challenging to stay fly this week.
To stay fly?
Yeah, a lot going on, but I've got some really cool things coming up. Next Saturday, I'm going to be back here, but just me, probably not even on the air with Jedi, and we're going to be recording my audiobook.
Got you.
Ooh,
Got
that's
you.
Gray's
what's up.
Sports
Excited about
Almanac.
that.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
Got you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I reached out. I got an ISBN number
Did you?
and a cover design. I found some pretty cool cover designers who are doing stuff for like Pushkin Books or whatever in the UK. And this one lady she freelances too. You should see the portfolio. Very, very cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's exciting.
Yeah, I got this idea. Like, well, it's not a real. I didn't really write a book. I wrote a article, manuscript, idea, whatever. It's more than just a blog post, but it's not a total book. But I have this idea. What if we could do thought leadership instead of just publishing it online? What if we published it as an ebook and made people pay like $1.99 or $2.99 for it?
For sure.
Yeah.
That would be super cool.
And plus, it's easier to read anyway because you can bring it on Kindle and it's just and it has more
reads
value.
anymore?
Yeah. Or plus that's why I'm doing the audiobook.
who
'cause
reads anymore?
Who reads anymore? I don't
Me.
read. I don't read.
I do.
What are you talking about?
I go to
I
half
don't-
price books like at least 3 times a month.
You do?
Yes.
Do you
I love
actually
books.
read like with your eyes?
With my eyes, honey.
He
He
said-
said, I hate
Oh my
that
God.
damn screen, okay?
Oh, yeah, I hate the screen too. That's why I can't read
I
anymore.
start feeling like an old person. I have
Yeah.
to do all this, and then my eyes start hurting.
Yeah, it's too much. That's why I just want people to read to me.
Nobody wants to look
So
like
I'm
that when they
gonna
read a
sit
book.
here and I'm gonna read Gray's Sports Almanac to venture capital for you out
Are you
there.
going to have a very soothing reading voice? Is this going to be by the fireplace voice, or is this going to be like
Well,
the
guys,
hustle and bustle? We're
This
going
is
to,
Elijah coming at
you know what I'm saying?
Audiobook.
This is going to be.
It's gonna be something like that. It's gonna be you know what I could do? I could switch it up to like the real exciting parts, like the climax parts.
Yeah.
We could put on some background music, like some violin, fast violin, some suspenseful thing, and then I could start like yelling into the mic, and then like after the climax,
You
we
should
could go
do
back
like
down.
some
Just-
hardcore rock too on the intense parts.
Yes,
Yeah. Just make it a musical. Make it a musical audiobook.
that is so cool.
That would be new.
Yeah.
That would be new.
Did you know you can retain control of your startup on the
I didn't know you had
standard?
skills. You got a little vocal skills there, Isaiah. A little vocal
He held
skills.
the note. He held the note.
I'm still waiting on that Hot 16 though.
Ah.
He keeps promising a Hot 16.
Hot 16. What's
Yeah,
that?
the rap battle.
The bars.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. The rap battle.
So I'm still waiting on that, but that's okay. My week has been interesting. Let me see. I started out my week it was very frustrating. I just think it's because I'm working so much, but I was a little bit frustrated with everything that was going on. Sitting in the meeting, my Monday meeting, I was pretty heated. I don't know why. Just emotions spinning, mind spinning, emotions just brewing. And I just heard clear as day, you know, humble yourself. And from there, it changed my whole week. So I really had to gain a different perspective on my week, just dealing with the people that I work with. I have a 9 to 5 and a 5 to 9. And then even just with the radio show, just not feeling like I had enough time to do what I need to do with the show. And really just, in my spirit, man, it was like humble yourself. And once I took that moment and I just humbled myself. I quieted myself, quieted my mind, went and took a walk outside. I came back in, it took a little bit, but just the clarity that you have when you see through humble eyes, and the how it changes your perspective on how you really feel and where you really are. Man, it really helped me out for the rest of the week. I'm not going to lie. I was exhausted by last night. Just coming into everything because we had Rhythm and Rhymes on Thursday. So I work Monday through Wednesday. Anyway, long story short, at Boohoo, we all grinding.
No, but I will say that's very important as a person, and just if you're like a boss or in a management position, to be able to know that you needed to humble yourself, because I got into it with my boss this week, and when we sat down to have a conversation about the argument, he literally told me that it's hard for him to bring himself down to an employee level, to bring himself down to our level, to sympathize with us. And I kind of took offense to that, because I'm like, dude, that's just called being humble. Like, I didn't know that it's hard for you to sympathize with any human being. That's just what you're supposed to do as a human being. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but then let me just put this out here to anybody that's out there in leadership, that you're running something. It's a difference between a boss and a leader. And I'm pretty sure you've seen that meme.
Yep.
And they give you the pros and cons on the differences. So I would suggest to anybody that you learn the difference between the two. And this is one of the things I say about business. When a business becomes more important than the people who make up that business, then you will see that business surely fail. Like the longevity of that business is in jeopardy when it becomes more important than the people, whether it be the consumer base or the people who actually make that business run on a daily basis. If you can't begin to empathize and really see the perspective of where your subordinates are coming from or your associates are coming from, then you've almost lost vision or vision of the purpose that you had when you got into the business.
Amen.
Because you started out as employee number one. Mm-hmm. You started your business for some reason. Everybody wants to be profitable, but you also had a purpose for starting your business. And most entrepreneurs, which what we're talking about, season 1 is entrepreneur centric. Most entrepreneurs they started out because they wanted to run their company a certain way. They wanted to control the narrative. Especially, so I'm in my 40s. So for me, coming into entrepreneurship at this part of my life full on is saying, hey, there's something that I want when I get to the point where I have employees or I'm building a team, I want to do certain things. It's like taking a look at how we run the show. I'm constantly saying, okay, I need to do better at this. I need to do better at that. And trying to put the show in the best place possible, because it's not just me anymore. You guys are here. When you come, you're bringing everything with you. So I have to respect that fact and give 120%, because it's a representation of who you are, not just me. It's a representation of who you are too, because you decided to come and join the show for however long you're on the show, however long our run is. And the same thing for you. And even our guests, when the guests come. So my question is always, how can we do better? I'm not afraid of 360 feedback. You can't be afraid of that. I'm not afraid of suggestions. And I'm also not afraid to say, hey, we're not ready to do that yet. It's a great idea, but we're not ready to do it yet because it may not be financially feasible or whatever it is. But the point is that when you're in leadership, you should never lose sight of where your associates are coming from, or even your peers. I mean, you can't, if you're not in a leadership position and you're looking to your leader, you should also, there's a thing where you have to look through their window too, because responsibility rolls downhill and accountability goes up. Everybody's accountable to somebody above them. We're accountable to somebody. So, you have to look at that. And that all comes through one. We say the basis of innovation is two things. It's communication and collaboration. How well we communicate really establishes how well we collaborate. And then we can get to that point, then innovation, it's inevitable, whatever space we're in. So the crux of it all is learning how to communicate with each other across all levels. You should never get so high that you can't communicate with anybody on the front lines. Amen. And you should never feel so distant being an associate on the front line that you don't feel like that you're able to communicate with whoever your leaders are. There has to be a happy medium in there. And that's just that is my philosophy on how I want to run a business, how I would run a business, because I just feel like there's longevity there in that. Anyway, I'm off my soapbox. moment, a moment. I had a moment of just clarity
realness.
and epiphany.
A realness.
So we're gonna keep it moving, man. And we're still waiting for J Clip to come in studio, but he should be here. He actually has a school, a DJ school, to get started. So go ahead. You were about to say something.
Oh no, I was just thinking about what you said about how whether you're on the front lines or whether you're leading the crew, there should be just total ease of interacting with each other.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think you're all in the business, whether you're the CEO of it or the janitor. You all work there.
And the other thing that bugged me is he called like giving me the tools to do my job pampering. And it's like, okay, well, the success of your company relies on the success of me. So really, you're not pampering me. You're just making sure that your company is successful so that way, like, you're giving me a way to do my job. I don't know. It just, now that I'm taking business management in college, it makes me view the way a company is supposed to run and how you're supposed to treat, your employees below you. I don't know. Now it's really hard to work for somebody who just has no sense of that value. I don't know. Hard to explain.
I hear you.
Yeah, the education piece will change the more you become inundated in that part of your education, it'll shape your perspective.
Most definitely.
Your experiences will have something to do with that too. Mm-hmm. But let's not forget about our guest over here.
What up?
It was good.
Tad, how was your week, buddy?
My week was great, man. Rhythm and Rhyme was a Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday.
Loved it.
Put it down.
I appreciate the feature poet for that, man.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Thank Jess for that. Shout out Jessica.
Yeah, big shout out to Jessica. No, it was a pretty smooth week. I'm really starting to step up as far as entrepreneurship comes with the whole poetry thing and just branching out with different ideas. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm a high school teacher, so throughout the summer, like I'm just kind of, finding my way, trying to, hustle as best I can as far as doing, what I love. So that's where the whole poetry thing comes in. But yeah, my week is pretty smooth, man. I mean, I'm off and I'm still getting paid, man. So I'm loving it right now.
Oh, you're a teacher. That's so bomb.
Yeah, man. And my kids are listening too, like literally. Yeah,
nice.
We're not listening, but they're on the.
What's up, high
live,
school kids?
Yeah, that's it. So
What's y'all's mascot?
what's that? The Eagles. Yeah.
What's up, Eagles?
Go Eagles.
Hey.
Yeah,
Where you at? Can you say what school you're at?
I can, but the problem is I'm probably not going back there next year.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm probably not going back. I mean, sorry, man. Shout out FFA, man. Faith Family Academy. It's a charter school out in Oak Cliff. So
Got you.
yeah, big shouts out to them anyway, man.
Gotcha.
So
What's up?
How long you been teaching?
I've only been teaching for 2 years. This was my first year actually in the classroom. A year before that, before I moved here, I was in Mississippi, and I did graduation coaching as far as like assistants in the classroom, college prep, and things like that. So that was my main thing as far as education was. Like I never intended on being a teacher, but I mean, speech communication was my major, with minor in theater, and then just any communication class, any speech topic, or any speech opportunity, it just kind of came up.
So how has it been working with kids in Oak Cliff? Especially, I mean, I don't know like how the private or charter schools go against like public schools.
And this was my first year in the actual charter school, but I will say the kids are kids.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Most definitely.
But those kids are they're bright, and I say that in a way that when I was in high school, even academically, being pretty good academically, and sports and all of that. These kids, they're on a different wavelength as far as their thinking. Now, some things I miss about what we had when we were in high school, but with their mind is just quicker. Now, their attention span is a lot shorter, but I think it's just because they have so many different things coming at them. They have access to things that we didn't have access to.
Apps.
But there you go.
They have the access
They have the
to
apps.
everything.
They have the apps.
Yeah, so information is available to them readily, but I'm loving Dallas, man. This is a good week. Any week above ground's a good week. When you were saying, you're looking forward to the next one, I'm like, hey, you made it to this one, so we're good.
Exactly. That's all you can say, right? That's awesome.
That's
So
good. Go ahead. No. Go. I'm
I
not
would-
gonna stop you.
I was just gonna ask how how is it being for me, because I have a regular job too, but I have this creative side of me of things that I do. Is it hard for you to like be a teacher and like be a DJ, and like do you want to ever leave those kids and be like, ugh, I just want to chase my dreams?
Not lit. See, the way you said it was kind of just worded, kind of like I'm just a horrible person. But I don't want to leave the kids.
No. Yeah, okay. I did word that terribly.
No, but as far as just
whoops. I didn't mean that, kids.
I'm gonna hear that later. But no,
he loves y'all. Okay.
Definitely love those kids. No, but being a teacher, and like I said, balancing a regular job and balancing your passion is simple to me. And the way I always described it was, your hustle has to support your grind. All right. For me, my main job as an educator is the hustle, but the grind is the thing that I'm putting in to where one day I won't have to teach, you know what I'm saying? But the option to teach will still always be there. The passion for teaching that I didn't even know I had is thriving right now. Awesome. But as far as, just stepping out, I don't know if I clarified this. I haven't been an actual DJ for a few years now. Yeah. I actually kind of switched over to something that I've always loved, which is, like I said, poetry. Right. So I stepped into that, but it's easy to do both when you can incorporate them together. I'm a speech teacher, so I mean, being able to do different forms of speech, whether it's speeches or creative writing and things like that, put it all together, so I can kind of bring my world into the classroom and take the things I learned from those children and use them as well. So.
I love your approach to the hustle and the grind. We've had other guests on the show that weren't thrilled with their jobs, and then they're like, oh yeah, I can't wait to quit that or whatever. Yeah, and it's pretty cool that you reconcile them.
Well, I mean, I think you have to. I mean, and even if I didn't love the job, it's just the understanding of this is what it has to take. This is what it takes to achieve that thing that you love so much. For example, I had a conversation with a guy the other day. He was just like, when you guys go into fine arts for college and things like that, you've got to work even harder after college because there's no guarantee. It's not a trade. It's something that you really have to work at. You have to have a passion. You have to be working at it while you're learning it. And I'm like, you're 100% correct. And he's like, well, it's a lot harder to be successful. But I look at it like this. I'm a teacher, right? If I make, I don't want to say what I make, but let's just pick a number. Let's say 50 grand a year, right? So let's say if I make 50 grand a year as a teacher, if I stop teaching and doing, whatever my passion is, makes me 50 grand a year, I'm successful in the sense of I'm doing what I love and I'm still able to sustain myself. I'm still maintaining. And of course you want to make, as much as you can. But I mean, if I want to be a poet, if I want to be a DJ or whatever I want to be, if I was making $52,000 at an I just said it. I was making that much at a 9 to 5.
Nobody knew that, by the way, until you said it.
I just said it. I was trying to throw random numbers and I said it. But anyway, but if I'm making that as a teacher or at a 9 to 5 and then I'm doing what I love, then
that's success,
it's success, right?
I think that we have to, one of the things, and you're in a great position to do that because you're catching the kids at the base level, right? So we have to, for them, keep it realistic in the definition of what success really is, because they have access because of everything is so digital. Not just, I mean, everything is digital. Everything's on the phone. They're gonna see it because the world is online right now. It's not just with social. I mean, it's online, but they see the images out there of everything of how people are portraying in certain aspects, how success is portrayed. And honestly, I think for all of us, well, for me, I guess every day for us, everyday people, success is that doing what you love to do, being able to sustain your lifestyle doing it. Now, if you have an opportunity to really compound that and make really great money from doing it, then as you said, that's good, but that shouldn't just be the measure of how successful you are, because there are some very successful people that are not millionaires, but they affect change in their community.
Mother Teresa.
Yeah, they affect change in their community. or like Mother Teresa worldwide, and they create and build a legacy.
MLK.
Basically, because we know he wasn't close to being a millionaire. Not even close. So it's just that. And I think we do have to, I feel like it's great that you're able to still see kids and the kids are able to see you and like they're seeing you right now where you're talking about what you do and talking about your passion and the difference between what your vocation is and what you're passionate about, your passion project or what you feel like your purpose to do.
Yeah, and thank you for that backup, by the way. But yeah, man, it's I try to stress to them all the time that if what you do is sustaining you, if you love it, I mean, if you absolutely love it, there's no fault in being that guy who makes X amount a year if it's not millions and millions of dollars. And we even had a conversation just on the core elements of hip hop, from what they were to what they are now, and those 5 elements have changed so much. But it's like, man, those guys weren't super rich back then, when they got started off, but they loved what they did and they were okay. They were good. That's where everybody started from. That's what everybody looked up to. And now it's the glorification of the money and it gets skewed. So if you're not that super big rap star or DJ or whatever it is, if you're not that guy, you're considered to be not successful. But I mean, how many of the illest MCs or the dopest DJs do you know are not, multi-millionaires, but like you can get to their craft and they can rock a party better than any of them. You see what I mean?
Definitely. So. Hey, let's stick a pin in that real quick. We just had somebody walk in the studio. We want to get them set up. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in to the Get Back Show.
What you do, gonna continue to move. Hands up.
We're joined by a very special guest. I've been knowing this. I actually just really haven't met this brother. Met him maybe about 2 weeks ago, but I've been following him on Instagram, and then I used to see him get down on Wednesday nights at the
Prophet
at
Bar.
the Prophet Bar with RC and them. I am from Texas, so you might hear some Texas slang come out of my mouth every once in a while. But this brother's hot, man. And he's a very knowledgeable cat. So we were in the middle of Tad was about to go into talking about the 5 elements of hip hop, and I thought it would be great to bring Jay Clip in on this because I know he's really well versed in this. So what we're going to get into, more than likely coming up, we're going to get into the beginning of hip hop, and we're going to get into this, but we're still going to talk about the business of DJing.
Absolutely.
I think that Clip has some great points, and we're supposed to have DJ Phil calling in. I'm getting ready to text him right now to see when he's going to call in, and we're going to get into it, man. So back to you, Tad. What were you saying about the elements, the 5 elements?
All right, so like he said, we were speaking about the 5 elements of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You think back in 1975 when it all started, like the biggest thing was the DJ. All right, even the MCs would rap about the DJ, about how great the DJ was. But the original 5 elements of hip hop, you're looking at DJing, MCing, graffiti. All right, which is an art form, even though now it's tagged as something that was negative. It didn't start off that way. Then you have dance and fashion, and those were like the 5 core elements of hip hop. That was a culture,
Indeed.
And they said it would be just a fad, and now it's the number one.
It is the culture.
It is, you know what I mean? It's the number one, source of, I guess, influential music. But the problem, I think, is that it's been saturated with I don't want to say unworthy, but things that are detrimental to the culture. It's gotten away from those 5 original elements.
I agree, because I used to always wonder why I had this discussion with him. Wonder why the old heads, that's what I call them, the old hip hop folks. They hate on the new hip hop guys. The mumble rappers and the Have-You Nots, Lil Pumps. And I'm always telling people, go back and listen to Africa Bambaataa and tell me that shit was normal. What I mean?
Right.
Like, by any means. So how can you, just because their sound is different, it's not like the normal old school hip hop. But I totally get what you're saying now, because I agree. Hip hop has strayed away from its DJ, from having MCs, and I feel like the fashion culture is strong and heavy there.
Yeah.
But I totally get what you're saying with the DJ and stuff. But do you think it's coming back? Because now DJs are starting to release CDs.
Which I think is definitely dope. And I don't want to hog the conversation, so anybody just jump in.
I'm just listening.
And I think we're not able to critique, what art is anymore, because it's automatically considered hating. But I will say this. I love the aspect of business that is going on as far as these young rappers getting paid, and they know what their publishing is. They know what's a good deal, what's not a good deal. You know what I mean? A lot of them are staying independent until something better comes along, or whatever. But it's gotten to the point to where they have to do a certain thing to sell, so you don't really get hip hop in its rawest form as much. Because when you can pinpoint the 5 things that we were talking about, after that are always prevalent in, hip hop, you're going back to, sex, drugs, and alcohol, money, the glorification of material, and then, violence. And it's.
Well, I think too, and first of all, peace to everybody out there joining in, watching the show. Thank you guys for having me here today. I think, just, in my opinion, I mean, I've been a DJ for 22 years. So, I like DJing and being around DJs when I was way too young to even be in those situations. But one thing that I can truly say is this, with the advancement of time, I mean, time has brought about accessibility. So now, being a DJ, starting out 22 years ago and looking at where it is now, it's accessibility that has kind of killed a lot of the things that we do as well. You know, of course, you know, in the 90s, in the early 90s, what a lot of hip-hoppers like to call the golden era, you know, in that era, you know, you had more MCs talking about, you know, cultural things that's going on in the world, things like that. But then, you know, you shift to the mid to late 90s where, you know, people started calling it the jiggy era, you know, the shiny suit era. Yeah. You know, at that time, you know, it became, you know, it was flashy, but hip hop has always been flashy. Because if you go back and look at the Eric B. and Rakim Paid in Full album cover, you know, they rocking Dapper Dan Gucci with hundreds of gold chains, you know what I'm saying? Bracelets, rings, everything. So hip hop as a culture, like you mentioned, you know, the fashion element of it, it's never gone away, but it just shifted, I think, during that shiny suit era, and then it definitely became more about money. You know, like now, you know, there is no such thing as a street team. Like, I was responsible of putting together street teams for record labels, but now there is no more street team. There is no more guerrilla marketing. You know, none of that. So, you know, now we're in an era now where the accessibility is just at an all-time high. Like, I'm not an old dude, but I mean, I've never seen accessibility the way it is now. You know, I remember, you know, my friends actually putting together a demo package and putting it in the mail to send to a record label. Yeah. Now you go in the studio, which could be at your home, you record it, you go straight to SoundCloud with it. By an hour, you got 1,000 listens. Right. You know what I mean? So it's, the accessibility is one of those things that has brought out the good and the bad. You know, in the hip-hop era, in the DJ game, if you're a photographer, if you're a graphic designer, whatever you are, you know, is accessibility I'm saying, I think that's killed everything.
How has the business of live events changed in this era of accessibility?
Live events,
DJing.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's so much live events. I think, like I said, the accessibility from DJs being able to get out and do their thing. Like, you can basically wake up in the morning, you can say, hey, I think I want to be a DJ. You know, if you have the money to go buy the equipment, you wake up, you go buy the equipment, you got the computer, you got the MP3s, you set it all up, you call up some homies that night, hey man, you know, I just got this DJ equipment, call some people up, I want to come over and rock. And it's that simple. So I don't think it's really, you know, live events per se. I mean, because like you were just saying, you know, people don't really have the presence of mind to know what's good and what's bad. They just accepted whatever you feed them. You know what I mean? People don't really have to look for anything anymore. It's all being given to you. You know what I mean? So whatever's given to you, you're going to just gravitate towards that.
I agree, because I personally think that it's so sad to be a DJ now. Because like you said, I feel like anybody can wake up and be like, you know what, I like this whole playlist. Let me just go to a club and press play on my playlist. Yeah. And we're going to call it a day. And do you guys seem to think that there's been a stray away from like cutting and scratching than from like just pressing play on something and letting the club rock out?
Well, you want to, I'll chime in on that. Okay. Well, I think, well, you know, a lot of people say for the culture. So that's what, you know, my direct, you know, relationship with the culture is, you know, with the Keep Spinning DJ Academy, my DJ school. I started a DJ school a few years ago, and you know, we're growing, but you know, at the end of it all, you know, our motto is learn to DJ the right way. Yeah. So necessarily scratching and cutting doesn't necessarily make you a better DJ, because I know tons of DJs who do that, but they can't rock a party. Mm-hmm. But I know tons of DJs who can rock a party who can't scratch and cut.
So what rocks the party? Can I ask that?
What rocks the party? Yeah. The energy. But it depends on the party. But, you know, if we're talking about just a straight up party, I mean, you know, if you have an MC, that helps. Yeah. If you're a DJ that can MC your own parties, I mean, I kind of, you know, talk on the mic myself, because I sort of started out MCing before I was DJing. So, you know, I kind of just, you know, married the two once I started DJing full time. But, you know.
I do for sure. Do you think that sets apart, like an MC might help?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, and it's funny. Definitely. I started as a DJ and ended up MCing.
Okay,
you know, like, it was, you know, just different. Like, I was But I was gonna, there's a couple things I want to hit on. You said the demo package, man. I was gonna ask you before you even said it, like, when the last time you heard of a demo tape, man? Like, yo, check my demo out. Now everybody, it's a mixtape, you know, like that. But as far as the business goes of, you know, or am I a DJ now because I have this equipment? And or like I think one of the biggest elements of the party aspect is crowd control. You have to know the crowd. You can tell the vibe of a crowd. You remember when Lil Jon was popping like the hardest? You had to know when and when not to play that one more Lil Jon song to stop that party from going into chaos.
Exactly.
You know,
I do a little something myself. I fill in for cats. I'm by far not even close to these dudes, but I fill in for people every once in a while because I've been around music my whole life, and that's the one thing I think that I try to understand. Even when I'm asked to MC an event, like I want to coordinate with the DJ because when we connect, that's the first thing I tell people. If we're not having a good time, then they're not gonna have a good time. Because I want to feel like even if nobody else was in the room with me and the DJ, and it was just me and Clip in the room together, that we're gonna be in there jamming. Like I'm gonna be his hype man.
Exactly.
Like how they be doing when how they do at some of the shows, the concerts. You seen them in church when somebody hit a run and they throw a handkerchief at. I want to be like that with my DJ. Like I'm gonna throw something at you.
Right. Exactly.
Stop jamming so hard. But the one thing is like I always trip out is because when you get people, it's two things I don't like. I don't like a selfish DJ. Okay. That he came with his own, like, you don't care what the crowd wants.
God, man.
You about to jam like that makes me mad.
Song selection, man. Song selection.
But that's just the artist in me though. That's the artist in me though. And then I don't like it perturbs me when you have people in the audience, like, so when I do karaoke spots, I take requests. And they will like come up to the DJ booth repeatedly, like, will you play this? And I'm like,
shoving a phone in your face.
Yeah, I'm like, do you not see these like 50 people on the dance floor jamming right now? I'm not.
We don't want to stop and just listen to your one song.
Yeah, like chill out. We'll get to the request a little bit later.
It's crazy.
But moving into a clip, we didn't even get a chance to really formally introduce you, man. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Well, I am Jay Clip. I represent the Keep Spinning DJ Academy. I represent a few brands, but I represent the Keep Spinning DJ Academy here in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas, premier DJ and production school. So, you know, I've been doing my thing with that. I represent a brand called True School. I work with Ninth Wonder. We've been working together for years now. Myself, him, DJ Cousin B, DJ Face. Gotcha. A few other guys, man. So we do that. And, you know, I'm just a career DJ. I do DJ full time. I've been living in Dallas now for 12 years. I moved here from Jackson, Mississippi, graduate of Jackson State University.
HBCU.
You know what I mean? HBCU all day, mass communications. So, you know, just doing what I can for the culture right now. You know, I have been very fortunate to move to Dallas and work with a lot of the who's of Dallas. And, you know, not by chasing them down, beating them down, but just building organic relationships with people. I think that's more important than anything, you know, the relationships that I've built and, you know, just keeping it, you know, 100. You know, when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And, you know, when I'm asked to deliver, I deliver. So, you know, a lot of people find it good working with me, and I like working with them. And, you know, it's been a beautiful thing. So Dallas has been good to me.
How'd the partnership with Ninth Wonder spark up?
Oh, wow. Okay, so short story, because this is a pretty lengthy story, but short story, my man Cousin B, who went to Jackson State with me, he and I graduated together from Mass Comm. He works for NPR now, but he moved to D.C. after we graduated. He met a guy that grew up with Ninth Wonder in North Carolina. At the time, they were just starting the group Little Brother. So he was like, yo, man, check out my people. This is Little Brother. This was when they dropped the first album. So he checked it out. He liked it. He hit me up like, Clip, man, this is like the hip-hop we've been waiting on. Because, you know, this is kind of like post-Jiggy era, you know. I mean, but it was still very heavy. So, you know, like around 2001, 2002, something like that. So I checked it out. I liked it. At the time, I had a corporate job with T-Mobile. They were flying me around the country. I had to do something in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so I got them to fly me to Chicago before flying me back to Dallas because Cousin B and Ninth were doing a party there. So I went there. That was my first time actually meeting Ninth. We had talked on the phone a couple of times, but I met him. You know, we did the party. I ended up getting on at the party. He was like, man, you need to be down with True School. You know, we just starting it up, but he was like, we definitely need to get you down with us. And the rest is history. So really about 12 years now, yeah, we've been rocking, man. So it's been a beautiful thing. But, you know, here I am, Dallas. You know, all of that kind of happened around the same time. I had just moved to Dallas and everything. So, you know, I got here, you know, that job ended. They laid off my whole department about 9 years ago.
Wow.
So since then, man, I was like, man, I'm not getting laid off or fired or nothing ever again.
Shout out to T-Mobile.
You know, but I had plans to leave anyway. That's the crazy thing. I had plans to leave, but I guess the universe had bigger plans.
Yeah,
so,
accelerated your exit strategy, right?
Exactly. Because like maybe a month after I thought about leaving, I was like, man, I'm going to stay here for 6 months. I'm going to eat turkey sandwiches. No more sneakers. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, that was it, man. About 2 weeks later, the job was over.
Out of there. So let's do this. We got into some pretty heavy conversation, man. But let's we're gonna spin it back just a little bit and get into get some information from you guys on what we're talking about. So the whole topic of this season, the premise is entrepreneur centric. It's all about entrepreneurship, and I'm around DJs all the time, so I hear y'all talk. It's like when you were spinning at Union Park. I guess it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And to hear you, Fife, and Bolati talk, and just have DJ talk, but they weren't just talking about the art; they were talking about the business of it. How, you know, what to do with certain crowds. Just they were sharing know-how, and that was pretty dope, man.
Yeah.
And then they were all trying to figure out when they could all get down to keep spinning.
Yeah.
And hook up with Clip and do something with them. But this is a question that we ask every guest. It's a two-part question.
Okay.
That we ask every guest, and it is, what does entrepreneurship mean to you? That's part A. Part B is, when was your free fall moment? And let me define the free fall moment for you. It's that moment. I guess we just heard yours. It's that moment when you decided that you were going to go for it. Like, this is it. I'm going to step out on faith. I'm investing in myself, and I'm going to take this free fall, and then on the way down, I'm going to learn how to fly. And when you started flapping your wings, so take it away, man. Whoever want to go first?
You can go. I just kind of chopped it up. So yeah, we can bounce it back, because I got two parts to the free fall moment. So,
well, as far as the entrepreneurship goes, what it means to me, and I taught it in my class. In fact, the class that I taught was professional communication at Faith Family. Okay. But I always pushed entrepreneurship. It's good to learn how to get a job and things like that. But entrepreneurship is most important, and what it means to me is true freedom. And I don't mean just liberty to where you're able to do things within the confines of whatever your employer says. I mean the freedom to actually make a decision and say, hey, no, I'm going to do this with my company today. I'm going to put my money here. I'm going to invest my money here, whether it be, in the community, whether it be for like, and not an extreme level like LeBron James, but for a school or something like that. You know what I mean? Entrepreneurship is the ability to do things without permission, and as adults, as kids, we think, oh man, I'm gonna grow up, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Well, it doesn't really work like that unless you are in control of whatever you're doing. So I really just stress to my kids, entrepreneurship is really being able to seek out what you want to do, love doing it, and be successful. Entrepreneurship, you imagine not having a boss. As a kid, you need parents, but imagine not having parents when you were a kid. You love to do whatever you wanted to do, probably wouldn't be the best, but as an adult, you're more responsible, and things like that can come along. So when entrepreneurship is put into it, it's like, I can really make a change. I can do this. I believe in autonomy and in nepotism so much so, and when you're an entrepreneur, you have the ability to say, well, I'm going to leave this to my kids, or I want to put my best friend in this position, and I want to do this, and I want to take care of all of these families. You have the opportunity to do that.
Amen.
And you can change your immediate community, by the people who live around you, just by being an entrepreneur. And especially if they support the business, everybody starts to support each other. So that would be my main definition for entrepreneurship, I guess. And the free fall moment for me, it's kind of like I had two parts too, because you have a change. I initially was DJing from the time I was 14 till about the time I was 26, which is about 5 years ago when I stopped actually DJing. But I decided even when I was in college, I was like at Jackson State University.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Went to J State. I love.
That's right. D.I. Love.
When he said that, I was like, damn, do they know each other?
That's crazy. I have never met this man a day in my life,
That's
man.
crazy.
I got it.
And I've met tons of people out here who've gone, who attended Jackson State, man. So, yes, indeed. Yeah, fellow Tiger right here.
That's
man.
it, man. I got a
Only the best school in the swag.
the best school in the swag. Swag or die. Let's go. But no, I got the opportunity to intern at 977 WRBJ in Jackson, Mississippi.
Scrap.
And Scrap, DJ Scrap Dirty. That's the man. Chi-Town, what's up? But him and Quasi, man, after about a couple of months, they gave me my own radio show. So from 2008 to 2012, I had my own radio show. And I learned the ins and out of the DJing business. And that's when I realized, like, they give me freedom to do things. And when you just have a voice that you're able to put out there and thousands of people listen, that opens up opportunities for so much different things. Like you said, the hosting events, DJing, even, with businesses that have nothing to do with hip hop or music at all, they might want a live broadcast at a Wingstop or at any type of event. They'll want you there. And I'm like, wow, like, this is the opportunity. And at that point, you don't owe any money to the radio station because you're now operating as your own brand. All right, I'm spinning that from 97.7, but I'm spinning that. And if they want to come through me, they can. And, that was my first moment. And then the second one was just more recently with the poetry. I always had a passion for it, and the opportunity arose, and I was like, you know what? I'm here. I'm in the new city. I just moved to Dallas last year, and I was like, you know what? Let's take it, and it's going right now.
So, do y'all think that this is a reoccurring question? Because I kind of felt like I'm only 24 and I feel like I've had multiple free fall moments,
Okay.
Do you guys feel like that? You both said you had like 2 free fall moments. Do you think that they're still to come?
Oh, yeah, without question. As you go through your career, and you level up, as they say, that creates another moment because that creates another opportunity, like you just mentioned. Opportunities to do more things, you know what I mean? So, you constantly have those moments like, okay, now I can kind of, chill a little bit more because, I got this working for me over here.
Right.
So, it creates an opportunity for you to do more stuff too. So, I'm definitely not one to shy away from having multiple streams of income. I mean, I think that's the smartest thing in the world. All my successful business friends, they're not just doing one thing, you know what I mean? They have, things that they might not even touch, but they're just over here quietly working while they focus on the one thing over here that's really bringing in the opportunities for you to do these other things, these other small businesses or whatever. So, I mean, those moments, they continue to come. If you take advantage of them and you play them right too,
Right, for sure. And I think that that's just how you grow as a person. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't step off the ledge and just risk it all, then you're never gonna get any higher. You're never gonna go to the next level.
Right.
Right. For sure.
So, Clip, let's get your take. What does entrepreneurship mean to you?
Entrepreneurship to me is, for me personally, was the ability to not have to be under the thumb of corporate America. And really, just work for yourself, make your own schedule, do your own thing. I mean, I think just since day one, that's what I was always built for. I mean, I have no problem, as a man, you got to do what you got to do. If you got to go out and get a job, then, by all means, you go do that. But, even as an entrepreneur, you work harder. Because you're in control of everything. So it's not the work element of it, in my opinion, it's the peace of mind. The hard work that I put in, I know where everything is going. I don't have, other than Uncle Sam, you know what I mean? I don't have any middleman, taking away from that or telling me, you know, how and when or what I should do. You know, I have the ability to create all of that myself. And, you know, by making the right decisions, you know, it'll pay off for you in a positive way. So, you know, to me, that's true entrepreneurship. I mean, it again creates so many opportunities for you to do things with other people too. You know, if you have, you know, it creates jobs. You know, if you're a successful person, then you're creating jobs.
You know, out of all of our guests that we've had on, they're the first ones to say that giving back to other people is an important part of being an entrepreneur. And I think that is like one of the most important things, because at the end of the day, you really are. You're putting yourself in the position to be able to help out other people. Yeah. You know, that's dope that you guys view it that way. For sure.
Yeah. And just another thing with entrepreneurship, that leaves me no room to say, well, I didn't get it because of
so and so,
or they knew somebody, this and that, which is why I said I love the idea of nepotism. Okay, well, I know him. You know, I know he's a good guy. I know he can do the job. Right. If I'm in control, I'm going to do that. How many guys you know who come up in the business and they work their butt off for 40 years and then they end up working another 5 or 10 years for somebody else's son who was the son? But why? There's nothing wrong with that. Who they watch grow up. There's nothing wrong with that.
The kid you watch running around the office ends up being your boss.
He's your boss now. So it's like,
you know what I mean?
I would like to be able to give something to my kids. So like, they shouldn't have to work for anybody. You know?
Did you? So, what about your free fall moment?
My free fall moment. The first one was when I guess. When I got the call to DJ for the Blueprint 3 tour at the American Airlines Center.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of, you know, I was kind of fresh into, you know, like I said, it's been, what, 9 years now? So I was like maybe a year off the job, you know what I mean? Still trying to figure it out. Oh, and I never threw in, like, my company was real greasy about it, too. So they blocked my unemployment and everything. They blocked it all.
Okay, so, T-Mobile, we coming for y'all now.
They don't use y'all services anyway.
So man, they did me real greasy, you know, with that. So, you know, and I hired a lawyer and everything to try to fight it. So, you know, I had to pay for a lawyer, and so, you know, I came in taking L's. You know what I mean? I just took the L on the job, then I took the L on, you know, on you know, paying the lawyer and all this. I'm like, okay, well, you know, clearly the universe has something big for me. So, you know, just out of nowhere, the Blueprint 3 tour came to town. I had a friend that works with Live Nation and, you know, gave me a call. She was like, yo, they need support at the Jay-Z show. I'm like, what kind of support? Like, what do you mean? Like, you know, they need somebody to open up, DJ for the show. I'm like, oh, word? I'm like, yeah, okay, well, cool, I'll do it. And at that moment, you know, it was like everything started happening. You know, just things really started to open up after that. And you know, I knew at that point, like, okay, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, so I'm just gonna keep on doing it. Just keep pushing forward. You know, and things were still tight. Like, you know, and even after that, like, you know, like I said, there's two parts to the breakthrough moment, because, you know, there was a dip when I'm like, man, you know, it's not really working out like I thought. You know, you know what? You know, do I need to get back into corporate America for a minute? Whatever. But
how long was that?
It was before? Maybe after that whole Jay-Z thing, man. It was maybe about 8 months.
What about before, you know? Jay-Z?
Before, just, I mean, it was just straight. Maybe about a year. Yeah.
A year?
Yeah, maybe about a year.
Oh my God.
So it was, you know, it was tough, man. Like it was tough, you know, but I was determined. I knew that I wasn't gonna just throw in the towel and not do it. I knew that this was something that I wanted to do. And anything that, you know, is worth having, you know what I mean? You're gonna go through some struggles, you know, it's not gonna be anything easy. Every successful entrepreneur that I know, you know, slept in their car. You know, stayed at a friend's house, slept on the couch. Unfortunately, I didn't have to do any of that, because like right before I got laid off, I had just like purchased a home, and, you know, I got created all these new bills for myself. So it's like, okay, I got to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? And that was it. So, you know, the Jay-Z thing happened. I'm like, okay, boom, okay, it's looking good. Then we took a dip. I'm thinking like I got to go, okay, I might have to go back to corporate America. And then I got a contract to do cruise ships. I did like 5 cruise ships with Norwegian where I'd be gone for like a month at a time. And those paid very well. So that was definitely like, okay, I think we're good now. You know what I mean? And you know, since then, just continuing to grind. And, you know, after I did my last ship, I created the Keep Spinning DJ Academy and, you know, went full throttle with it. And the rest is history. It's been about 4 years now.
That's
Dope.
awesome.
So, let me ask you this real quick before we get into this ad break.
Mm-hmm.
What and this could be to both of you. What about the valleys? Did the valleys prepare you for the peaks, or vice versa?
Yes, definitely.
So you said you took those L's. How did you take when you were in it? Because those L's got you in the valley. You're in the valley right now when you're taking those L's.
Yeah.
What about that? Do you think that is it when you begin to take the L's, you get over the initial loss and you start to change that from a loss to a lesson? Does that start you on your ascension?
Yes. With me, I knew that my whole thing was, you know, once I made the decision to not go back, I can't go back. So, you know, I'm going to take whatever comes along with this because I made up in my mind that it's not going to be easy. Like, you know, one of the hardest pills to swallow, I'm a sneakerhead, man. One of the hardest pills to swallow was not being able to get out and cop those sneakers like I used to. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, like, you know, I was copping like 3-4 pairs of sneakers a month, you know, just because I liked them like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, but, you know, that's just, you know, I'm just joking with that. But, you know, there are a lot of humbling things that, you know that, okay, well, if I want to really be successful in this, if I really want to make this work for me, then I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. There's no way that I'm going to be able to just kind of live the way I was living and do this too. Right. You know, because this over here was just me showing up, clocking in, and, you know, every 2 weeks I'm getting a check. Right. You know what I mean? I knew what was coming. Right. Once you become an entrepreneur, you don't know what's coming. No. Right. You know, so you have to prepare. You have to. I'm a better accountant than I'm sure somebody with an accounting degree because I have to make sure that, you know, for what if I have a slow month? Okay, it might take a hit, but I'll be all right. But what if it's 2 slow months? What if it's 3 slow months?
For sure.
You know what I mean? Things still have to go the way they have to go, slow or not. So, you know, that means, you know, over here, okay, well, instead of buying 2 pairs of shoes, just get a pair and be all right with that pair for a minute, you know, until things get better. Then maybe you go get you another pair, something like that. But other than that, man, just, you know, understanding that sacrifices will have to be made in order for me to be successful.
What about you?
Man, he just spoke my whole life right there, man. But literally, like what he said with about not going back. I mean, you could take that 2 ways. One way is I'm not going back to work for this job or this kind of a company, and the other one is like I'm not going back to that low place. Yeah. Experience is a teacher. Yeah. I mean, the lowest parts, pain is a teacher, man. Yeah. Like you said, the sleeping in your car, man. I remember that. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. 06.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
06, man. Sleeping in you know, in my car, and it's just like, okay, I'm not going back to that. Yeah. You know, I refuse to go back to that. But another thing he said is being the best accountant, man, you learn how to budget, man. If you don't know how to live off $30 a week, man, I can show you. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Real.
Can you show me?
You're like, man, what?
Yeah.
Now the quality of food is going to take a huge dip, you know, but you won't be hungry. You know what I mean?
You'll be peeing ramen noodles.
Necessities, man.
Ramen for breakfast.
You gotta
for lunch, some ramen.
Think about what's necessity, man. The things that are necessary are, and also being thankful. Like, I understand that, hey, I do have a roof over my head, no matter what kind of roof it is. I do know that I have clean water, and I do know I have clothing and shoes. That will get me to where I need to go as far as like doing what I need to do. And then, like I said, especially even the being in that valley, that's the inspiration there. Whether you're writing, whether you're a DJ, whether whatever you are, you have to make your craft work. Like, this is what I said I have to do. Now I have no other options. I don't have a job. Even if I try to go get another job, I got to wait 2 or 3 weeks before I get the first check. No, this has to work now.
Yeah.
So you find a way. It's literally back against the wall, and you fight.
There you
go. That's what it was for me as far as being in that lowest place. I'm not going back.
Yeah.
I hear you.
That's real.
I'm trying to get to that spot. I'm not going back. We're gonna take a brief ad break and go through some things. If you're looking for something to do around the city of Dallas over the next few weeks, well, actually, let's just start with this. The first one up is put on by JCF Productions, LLC. It's Rhythm and Rhymes. It's a poetry series. You can come out to network and enjoy an intimate night of relaxing poetic wordplay and soulful music. Our event will begin with the featured poets, and also we'll have a non-restricted open mic. I say we because I actually host that show. And the sounds are on the ones and twos. Is my homie, my A1 since day one, DJ Tates. You can hit him up at you can find him on Facebook, Sound at Tate and Soundcheck. And then also you can hit him on Instagram at Big Tate Entertainment, ENT. And then we'll just be jamming old school and new school R&B and neo soul. It's $5 on Eventbrite before the show, and then $10 at the door. It's BYOB. It's at Cloud9 Hookah Lounge, 804 West Shore Drive. That is the first and third Thursday of every month. We just had one this past Thursday. Tad was a feature poet, and that was his second time up, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming out.
Appreciate the invite.
Again, Cloud9 Hookah Lounge, the first and third Thursday, 804 West Shore Drive, Richardson, Texas, 75080. Next up, at the end of the month, and we're just doing some stuff for our girl Jessica Figueroa. Jessica she runs JCF Productions LLC, and Jessica has Culture Couture coming up. It is up at the August 31st. It's at One Love Lounge in Arlington. It's a fusion of DFW's best Caribbean, African, and American music, fashion, and cuisine all in one building. You're not going to want to miss this event. It's hosted by model Jackie and DJ Mike Kiss. Sounds are by DJ Mike Kiss. The fashion show, all the proceeds from this fashion show will be donated to the North Texas Food Bank to help feed hungry families in Dallas. The tickets are $15 on Eventbrite, $20 at the door, man. It's all for a good cause. And just go out and see some good fashion, have a good time, meet some new people. It'll be a great opportunity for you to get out and network, but also do something different. You know what I'm so tired of hearing people say there's nothing to do in Dallas. I don't know what rock you live under, but there's a lot of stuff to do in Dallas.
A lot of stuff to do.
A lot of stuff. You just got to get out there, man, and you got to broaden your horizons. Let me teach you something real quick. In Dallas, you need to have a diverse portfolio of friends. All right, you got to get outside of your own circle, and you have to have friends and acquaintances in different demographics, whatever it is. Get out, expand yourself, expand your territory a little bit.
Because there's a lot of cool ones out here, y'all.
Yeah, definitely. So, and then next is going to be Saturdays Evolve at Union Park. That's my landing pad. That's where I'm at most Saturdays, kicking it with HC3 Enterprises. Clip was just there a couple weeks ago.
Hey, if I go, can you help me make some new friends?
I can.
All right, great.
I have no problems with doing that. I have no problems. I just did the Braggs. What is it? The Myers-Briggs? Myers-Briggs. Yeah, I'm an ENFP. I'm a campaigner.
Oh, very cool.
I'm a campaigner.
Very cool.
Yeah. So Saturdays Evolve is at Union Park tonight. DJ Bolati will be spinning on the ones and twos. He's supposed to be here, but that's okay. He texts me. I'm still going to put you on blast. I love you to death, though. And then, man, you can go to maturepartycrowd.com and you can RSVP there, or you can pay at the door. Doors open at 9 p.m. From 9 to 10 is the jazz hour. From 10 to 11 is the
hour, y'all.
Yeah. From 10 to 11 is the neo soul hour, and from 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. is hip hop, R&B, and reggae. And it's going down. It's free admission before 10 o'clock with valid RSVP, and I'm going to tell you right now, they don't play that.
Yeah.
If you don't RSVP, man, and you don't get there on time, and to get in free, then be prepared to pay, and don't be arguing with them people at the door. Just show up on time if you want to get in free. Quit tripping.
Y'all quit giving the door girls a hard time. They just doing their job, baby.
That's it. That's it. Quit tripping on me. And the security dude at the door, like, ain't nobody want them problems,
job,
man.
baby.
They just working, you know. They just trying to live their best life.
That's right.
And then following up tomorrow at Blue Martini in Plano, 7301 Lone Star Drive, Plano, Texas 75024. If you have not been to Neo Soul Sundays, I don't know what you're doing.
That girl gonna be there because she fine.
Because it is one of the hottest spots. I'm trying to tell you, those cats have it so hot over there. They had the people from corporate come down and just like what can we do to help you? So they got it jumping over there. They hot in these streets.
Yeah.
The band this week is Soulful Sounds, and then one of your DJ brother Fife is out there this week.
Yes, indeed.
Fife is going to be out there this week. Again, go to maturepartycrowd.com. It's $5 entry at the door till 4:30 p.m. with the RSVP, and the door cover will be $10 if you don't have an RSVP. I guarantee you, I know Herschel, all of this is on Eventbrite. It's on the website, so don't say you didn't see it. Quit lying. If you don't like waiting in line, there's a $10 pre-sale skip line tickets. They're available online. There's happy hour food and drinks from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Open seating, first come, first serve. Dress code is no athletic attire or ball caps. Can't make it out until later. Blue Martini is open. They stay open till midnight for the after dark. Yeah, there it is for the after dark session, and that goes till midnight, man. So there it is. That's you got enough to do for the weekend, and I guarantee you, if you're not on that side of town, if you don't want to travel, there's something in your area. You can get on Eventbrite, cut the check, Eventbrite. I keep shouting y'all out. I need y'all to cut the check. We need those advertising dollars really, really quick. But and then there's stuff to do, man. So go check it out. And then in August, if you're an entrepreneur, the Summit Expo with Cosign Magazine, I think you don't have that one. I'm just shouting that out. The Summit Expo, August 11th and 12th. I think it's $50 for just a regular ticket. I think like $150 for the VIP ticket for the Entrepreneur Summit Expo with Cosign Magazine. Check it out. They'll have issue 23 out. If you want more info, go to cosignmag.com and or you can hit up Cosign KG, or you can hit up CP Local Celeb, who's the editor-in-chief, and KG is the founder. So that's it. That's our advertisement for the week. Find something to do, man. Get out and go enjoy yourself.
Move around.
Welcome to the weekend. And Jedi, can you give us about 3 or 4 minutes worth of some good music over there, buddy?
I like this one.
From them they seem danger. I know they try to make the real seem stranger. I know that minor things make themselves seem major. A lot of people try to cause damage. I know some people are gonna be hard to manage. I know a lot of different things try to take advantage. I'm just hoping that these words can be a bandage. You make me feel free. You make me go believe. You give me life and you fill my spirit. Had to let you know cause you don't always hear it. You give me life and you fill my spirit. Had to let you know cause you don't always hear it. In my heart is where I hold you dearest. Visions are not the clearest. You give me life and you fill my spirit. Had to let you know cause you don't always hear it. In my heart is where I hold you dearest. Visions are not the clearest.
All right, we're back. No,
It's Chubby and some hot.
this is like seriously grab me. I'm trying to get Phil on, y'all. And Isaiah stepped out for a second. Y'all bear with us. Hey, Phil, he said call back. All right. Okay. So we're back. We're trying to get. He's on. Phil, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're back on there. We are joined by DJ Phil. Phil, you went to HBCU, right?
Say that again.
You went to a HBCU. You went to Grambling?
I sure did. Grambling State University.
Okay.
Swag.
Yeah, we went to a. So we got two JSU alum in here. Phil, we got Jay Clip on.
What up, yo?
What up, Phil? What's happening?
See you next week, brother.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, you guys gonna be spending at Sandaga?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, the day party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I'm going right after the show. Calvin will be here. DFW Greek Picnic, Dallas Greek Picnic. He's gonna be on the show next week, and then we're gonna come right up. We're gonna come up there right after the show, man. Phil, thank you for taking out the time to get on with us, man. I know you got a busy schedule, brother.
No problem, man. No problem. What's going on? Talk to me. Let's wrap.
Yeah. Hey, let me just throw this out to you because Clip and Tad already answered. What does entrepreneurship mean to you? And when was your free fall moment? And let me define the free fall moment for you. The free fall moment is that moment where you said, I'm just, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to jump off this cliff and I'm going to learn how to fly and I'm going to get out here and do this thing. When was that for you? So what does entrepreneurship mean to you? And when was your free fall moment?
Entrepreneurship is the freedom to do what you want to do and have no bosses. Period. Point blank. So with that being said, the power to have make your own schedule, to make your own business is marvelous. That point that for me that was that make it or break it moment. I literally have to say, this last year, man, I was teaching, and they pretty much gave me an ultimatum, either the radio or us. And again, it's nice to have a study check every week, but to know that I can make more out of myself if I just hustle a little bit harder. That was my moment of clarity. So it just happened last year of September.
Okay. So you were teaching?
Yeah. Well, I was working in IT for Garland Independent School District.
Got you. Okay. So what we're going to get into in this last, because Clip has a class he has to go teach himself, and we're in the downside of the show. The show's over. We're done at 3 anyway. But we wanted to make sure that we got into the business of everything. So really, Phil, you called in at the perfect time, brother, so we can get into the business, the crux of it. And so these guys have some really great questions. I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to defer to my buddy over here to my right, Isaiah. Isaiah, what questions do you have to pose for these guys?
I'm curious about how do you distinguish yourself as a DJ? What does it take to differentiate yourself so that people know to call you when they want to have a DJ or buy your
stuff?
stuff?
You got to have your own lane. That's most important. Meaning, you don't have a specialty. Every DJ has to have something that they do really, really well that nobody can duplicate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's got to be your lane. All right, whether it's dirty south, whether it's reggae, whether it's old school hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Blah blah blah. Got to have something that makes you stand out versus anybody else, and personality too. That's another thing that a lot of DJs don't understand or don't know. Meaning, we call them button pushers nowadays. Meaning, they just get up there, they push a button. You know what I'm saying? Let the song will play. Next song come up, they push a button. There's nothing in between that's going to give an interaction with the crowd. All right? Personality. You need personality.
Any one of you brothers want to chime in on that?
You can go ahead.
Okay. And he said personality, which I think is one of the biggest things that helped me from being an actual radio DJ also. You learn to interact. And when you interact with that crowd, like I said, the crowd control is the biggest thing that I experienced. I was like, man, the more I connect with them, the more I read them and they vibe with whatever I'm doing, the better it is. I mean, like you said, those button pushers, like you have, I don't understand how DJs don't have a mic at all, or even have an MC at all sometimes. Like you have to have something that separates you. And a lot of times that is the connection. But that was definitely the biggest for me was the connection with the crowd, that crowd control, being able to read them and connect.
And I think visibility is important too. How people are able to connect with you. It's now we are in the social media era, so you have to exist on certain social media platforms. I know a lot of DJs, old and young. A lot of the older DJs, kind of set in their ways when it comes to certain things. And that really doesn't help you as far as your visibility goes. If you can't break out of, the traditional way of doing things in order to get into somewhat of the new style of doing things, but at the same time keeping that identity, keeping that thing that separates you from everybody else. If you can, figure out how to marry the two, then that'll definitely catapult you and put you on a different level too. Because it's like some people have either social media or they have DJ skills with no kind of social media. Mm-hmm. But once you put both of them together, then that gives you that visibility that I'm speaking about.
Truth.
Yeah.
So you talked about social media, Jay Clip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's your social media inspiration?
Social media inspiration?
And don't say Barack Obama. We just found out that Barack Obama follows Jay Clip on Twitter.
That's dope.
Shouts out to B.O.
Shut up. This is a lie.
Happy birthday to my man B.O., man.
He's 57 years young.
Yes, indeed, man. Living his absolute best life right now, man. So, but I think, man, it's kind of one of those things that social media inspiration, I guess it can be anyone who has taken social media and actually, built a solid career or foundation out of it. I know a young lady on Instagram, Chef Reva, that sells pastries and stuff like that, but just from being active on social media and then okay, now that I have your attention, check out all these pastries and cakes and everything that I bake. Mm-hmm. And people are buying it up like crazy. So anyone, I mean, it could be anybody. If you've taken social media and actually created an actual career or created growth from your business from it, then you're my inspiration. From a DJ perspective, I don't know. I mean, there's tons of DJs that I follow, and each one that I follow, they all have their thing that they're doing that makes me interested in seeing their social media platform. So there's tons of them. DJ Premier, Boogie Blind, what up, B? My man Cousin B, Ninth Wonder, so many. I got so many. So,
what about you, Phil?
Social media inspiration, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Phil, you still with us?
I think he's on Twitter right now. He muted us to get on Twitter.
Did we lose him?
Well, we have some audio on. I just want to let y'all know.
Yeah.
I think we may have lost him.
We lost him?
Well, we can hit spin that.
Who's your inspiration? Real quick, and this person, She's actually a fitness instructor now, but her name is Just Robin on Instagram, and she literally documented her whole weight loss journey from, like, I think it was like 300 something pounds. So like now she's like she's fit, and she's gotten sponsors by Isotori. Those are like different fitness brands and supplement companies. Cellucor. So anybody who knows like C4 and all those kind of brands and things like that for pre-work, she's like by
Subway.
those.
They're looking for a new spokesperson.
Who is?
Subway.
Oh, really? Oh, they are. They need one, right? But definitely she would be one of them. And then I guess from a DJ perspective, goodness, that's hard, man.
Y'all wouldn't say Khaled? I feel
I
like
was about to say him.
I mean, yeah, definitely. You know, he
finessed
he
the
is
social
finesse.
media.
He's global now. Like he
from
really
social
did.
media. So
Really?
I would have to give him a shout. Definitely give him a nod from a DJ perspective, DJ producer perspective.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about you, Phil? Your social media inspiration?
Oh, man, for real, Sean Mack. Sean Mack has a hellified IG. The way he just presents himself, man, is dope as hell. You know what I'm saying? And it's other people out there, but I'm being a little bit biased because I'm from Chicago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the way he just presents his IG is just sickening, man. So that's one person that I really look at and try to, I can't mimic it, but again, I try to do my best.
Okay. Let me ask you guys this. From the business perspective of it, how's your journey been from the business perspective, going from, we talked about the peaks and the valleys, but so how's the journey been and where do you find yourself at right now?
Well, from a business perspective, DJs here in Dallas, I mean, I've been DJing the entire time that I've lived here. I've known Phil the same amount of time that I've been living here, and he'll tell you, I mean, just with the increasing number of DJs and technology, that definitely made the overall price of what you could get paid go down. Fortunately, myself, Phil, and a few others, work with people who, really respect our craft, so they haven't compromised what they pay us, because somebody else is charging something else, and that's one thing that I can say too. I really try to, just do business with people who, are business people. Mm-hmm. They're not gonna, be crying about the price because they know that the quality of work that they're gonna get will be exceptional.
Yeah.
It's not like you're just going to get somebody who's coming up, like you said, a button pusher or somebody who doesn't know the crowd or who can't handle the crowd. So, but, the business overall, has definitely taken a hit. I mean, everything has. But, again, that's because of that technology that I spoke of when I first got here. Technology is Serato is a gift and a curse. It kept us from having to carry around crates of records or books of CDs. But at the same time, it opened the door for anyone who just has had the notion of wanting to be a DJ. Now they can actually do it. You have programs and things that'll, mix the music for you. So you don't even have to really understand the concept of doing it yourself. Mm-hmm. So, that's kind of where it is for me.
Yeah.
That's part of it. We could talk about that for hours, but it just in itself, but that's just part of it. I think the biggest part of it.
Yeah. How's your journey been, Phil?
One thing for me, guys, Dallas, it changes once every 3 years. When I say it changes, meaning the music style changes.
It does.
Every 3 years. Right now, Dallas, Texas is in a dirty South state, meaning everything that's coming out of here or everything that everybody's wanted to listen to or, want to get involved in is pretty much hood stuff. There was a time, like I said, every 3 to 5 years, Dallas becomes an R&B city. Then it becomes, some kind of it just flips. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Reggae takes over. Blah blah blah. There's no. That's one of my peaks and valleys of this city because there's no one real sound here that people can just gravitate to.
That's true.
So it's a roll of the dice, basically.
Can you time the market? Think like, oh, there's an 80% chance it'll be an R&B city, so I'm gonna start putting it out R&B Insta posts.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you go to Chicago, you know what you're gonna have to play. When you go to New York, you know what you're gonna have to play. When you go to Miami, you know what you're gonna have to play. ATL. Dallas is not like that. You don't know who you're gonna get that night.
But do you think? But Phil, do you think it's because we have so many transplants as of late? I mean, because Dallas has become a melting pot, so to speak. So you have people from all of those places that you just named that have relocated to Dallas in the last 15 or 20 years. Do you think that's why we?
Have you heard the saying? It ain't where you're from.
It's where you at. Yeah.
Okay. On the cool though, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, there's a melting pot here. There's you know what I'm saying, people from all walks of life here, blah, blah, blah. But, again, when you're coming to Dallas, we need to train them for Dallas. We need not, you know what I'm saying, we can't make it, you know what I'm saying, a part of another culture here. That's what I'm saying. That's just my thing. You know,
I got you.
When you go to Chicago, they keep it real. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to hear Steppen, you're going to hear House, you're going to hear this, and the third. Blah, blah, blah. But they're not going to try to cater to everybody else. Because, you know, I mean, it's their city, period. You go to L.A., same thing. So it's just Dallas, like you said, it is a melting pot, man, but it's just we have no consistency as far as, like, what you're going to hear here.
Maybe we put in the DMV forms before you get, you know, your license. You have to sign that you'll play the local where you are.
Well, this is my thing, and rest in peace, man, to C. Struggs. He passed away, 32 years old. He's a local artist. He passed away at 32 from cancer. He lost his battle with cancer. Rest in peace, you know, rest in peace, man. Rest in power, brother. We just got so many of these young brothers and sisters. I mean, whatever neighborhood you from, you know, there's young people dying left and right. So we need to look into that. But also, this is going to be a question for how long you been here, Tad?
Just a little over a year.
So this is going to be a question, and then you can chime in too. Going off of what Phil said, as far as you know, about that melting pot comment I made. Let me ask you this: do you feel like it's because all of our local artists, like, there's not really a big push on our local artists being played on the radios and how they're put out? As far as the music is put out, whatever genre they're in, there's always seems to be such a task to get local music played radio wise, to get them in the clubs, and then from there they always wind up leaving us, and then they go off and get big somewhere else, and then we start playing them after they get big. We want to show them love after they're gone, but that's another story. Do you think that's one of the reasons why, either one of you guys, do you think that's one of the reasons why it's so hard for us to establish just this is our music. This is the type of music that we put out in Dallas to develop that type of culture. It's like Dallas, like the music industry, the startup of the music industry, wherever it is, the core of it is, lacks that culture where there's a foundation across all genres, where people are going to say, we're going to push, this is the sound. We don't necessarily, do we have a sound?
Dallas doesn't have a sound. There you go, brother. You can stop right there.
Yeah.
Just about to say that.
You can stop right there, brother. Dallas does not have its own sound, period, point blank.
Yeah.
Right.
And another thing that's wrong with this city, brother, we have no star power here at all. Nobody wants to come to fucking Dallas, Texas. The reason being, again, everybody wants to go to ATL. Everybody wants to go to fucking New York. Why? Because of star power. The last star power we had fucking here was Ricky Smiley. He's gone. All right? Went to ATL. There's nobody here that nobody wants to come to Dallas to see. Period.
That we don't lift each other up. I think that's the biggest thing. We don't, you know, we want to blame. I feel like we try to put the blame on everybody else, but really it's just us as a community in Dallas. Because I feel like, you know, if you were to ask me who a local hip hop artist is, I can tell you like 3, and that's because maybe I've seen them on Instagram, and that's my own fault. That's because I haven't went out and invested my time into our artists. I haven't rallied behind them myself, and I think there's a lot of people in this city that could say the same thing. We're too worried about who's famous, who is coming from LA, who is in ATL, that we're not focusing what's here in our backyard.
Well, that's also an opportunity. Where do you think the opportunities could be in the DJ business to tie in this local flair?
Well, I mean, as one who, that works with local artists, I definitely agree that Dallas doesn't have a specific sound. But when I do go to other places, especially, from a global perspective, I mean, they do name the people from here who are from here. I mean, Erykah Badu.
Right.
If we even go, Dallas does have a definitely rich music history, but again, not a specific sound.
Yeah.
And I think that's what separates us from this city from other cities that you were talking about, Phil, because those cities, even Houston, they have their own sound. Like Houston is known for screw music. So, I mean, that is the sound of Houston. Other people have tried to mimic it, duplicate it, but it's a Houston thing. And Dallas, does have artists that have, made waves, made moves. And, I try to play their music and add their music on mixtapes and things like that. But, there is no specific sound. From a DJ perspective, I would just say play the music that you like. There are some Dallas artists that, I like more than others, you know what I mean? But at the same time, just with anything, I just try to play the music that I like, as opposed to, not, playing stuff just for the sake of playing it. Why not give the good artists that are from here a shot? It's tons of underground artists here too, that people have no idea that I'm learning about, but through SoundCloud, through Mixcloud, through all these online platforms, and these guys are getting, making major noise. But I could go and ask 10 random people on the street, hey, have you ever heard of, Debbie Stones, for example? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
No, I never heard of him. No, I never heard of him. No, you know what I mean? So, it's just kind of, again, kind of ties into what are we being fed? Are you going to accept what you're being fed, or are you going to kind of get out there and look for the other things too?
You see a lot in ATL, like they have Zaytoven, they have so many good DJ producers and stuff like that, like with Amigos and stuff, they rallied behind them and was like, hey, I see something in you, I'm a DJ, let's work together and lift you up type of thing. Do you think that here in Dallas, if the DJs were to link up with their artists and try to work together to push each other forward, do you think that would be something that we're missing?
They tried that already, Mama. They tried that several times. I've been here for almost 20 years now. And you know how many pushes I've seen and the shit just fall right straight through?
Really?
Let me tell you, I've seen it. Okay, it's a crab in a bucket syndrome down here. Period, point blank. Nobody else want to see nobody else get up. Period.
But do you think that mentality is specific to Dallas, though, Phil? I think that you see that. Yeah. I don't think you see it. I mean, you've seen it. I think you see that mentality. It may be more prevalent here because everybody, that's the one thing that we say. I'm a Dallasite. So I'm gonna keep it 100. I take that very damn personal when I hear that. Right. And I'm not mad at anybody because I said the same thing about our city way back in 04. Right. 03, 04, sitting in the green room in the studio having a conversation just like this. So it is frustrating that's all you hear about your city, and you know that there's more to your city.
I think I'm gonna jump in real quick. Just to me, it's a support thing.
Yeah,
that's really all it is. I see so many people who just support what their homie is doing. They support what this person is doing just because this person might have so many followers or whatever. But people don't support just what's good. Yeah. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's dope, I'm supporting it.
It feels right.
Not many people that I've seen, not many Dallas natives, just keeping it 100 too, on the outside looking in, I don't see many Dallas natives do that outside of their own circle. I'm not saying that they don't support.
sure.
They just support their own circle.
I think you might be right in other things too.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's definitely
So
a real.
it's just I'm gonna
networking
support my
town.
circle. I'm gonna support
Right.
my circle, but that's it. Even though your shit is dope, J Clip. Even though I'm a DJ, shouts out to all the DJs who tell people to come to me, because I've had DJs, hey man, I want to learn how to DJ, or I asked this dude if he did he know anybody that taught lessons. They didn't even say nothing about me because I'm not their DJ homie. You know what I mean? So I mean, it is what it is, man. But
feel that.
again, when you genuine, when you grinding, when you know what's meant for you is meant for you, it don't matter anyway. There's millions of people out here, so I really don't have to worry about the support of any of those cliques. How do I get my product in front of these millions of people that live here?
Right.
Once I'm successful at doing that, it don't matter whether you support me or not. And that's just the mentality that I've always had since I've been here, and once I really kind of saw the inner workings of things. Because people tell me all the time, well, you got to get out, you got to go support, you got to go hang out here, you got to go do their thing. I go hang out at your thing 3 or 4 times. I'm over here doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't see you.
Sure.
Well, you might pass by my thing and go to the thing down the street.
For sure.
Not knowing I'm even here, I see you pass by my joint. So it's just like, okay, well, if that's what it is, let's not play games. Let me focus my energy on just getting it done.
Yeah.
And that's been working for me.
Man, I think for me, so let me not go into what I think. Let me ask you this. You've been here the least amount of time. What's been your observation?
And I was going to say, since I've been here for only a little bit over a year, and not heavy into the DJ scene here, but what you all are saying is prevalent in other places too. So like coming from Jackson, Mississippi, you'll hear, people, man, we got the crabs in the bucket mentality. Everybody's clicked up and clickish.
That's the jack all day.
And just what Phil was kind of talking about, what I've noticed is even when you try to push or get a push behind somebody and support people, support things that are good, what I experienced a lot in the past was, you'll get an artist who gets the DJ behind them, and then the DJ has to do all the work. Like you said, when I can't go on the street when I can't go on the street and ask 10 people, you know who this artist is, and then your artist, the guy looking at you like, man, you ain't doing your job, don't nobody know me. I'm like, before you came to me, you ain't have nobody who knew me. Yeah. Like, I can't just push you on my own,
You gotta work, man.
Yeah, you gotta push it just as hard. Like,
you gotta work, man.
It should be to the point where people come to me like, yo, I want to hear so and so who live down the block. He got a hot joint. You don't got it yet. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. I took that exact. I come from the passing out flyers and the street team, right? Yeah. So I took that exact mentality into my corporate position, which is how I pushed my way into the marketing group. It's kind of what you said, being an entrepreneur on your 9 to 5, right? Yeah. I took that mentality, the guerrilla marketing mentality, and I said, listen, from where I'm from, if you really want to get somebody some radio play or get them noticed, then what you need to do is you need to get your whole hood to go to a party where the hottest DJ is and just have them keep going up to the DJ booth and asking, hey, have you heard such and such, or you got such and such? And they're going to be like, who is that? And and finally they go check the music out, and then they it's hot because now you got 20 people at this party asking you about it, right? And it's hot. You just have to kind of do that with stuff, and we don't get enough of that. And yeah, artists, I'm with you. You got to get out here and work, bro. You got to do some work too. You got to do some leg work. So let's do this really quick. We're getting into the last 5 minutes, and I know we got a couple guys that's got to get out of here. Let me ask you guys really quick. What would be your advice, in a couple points that somebody? So, Phil, you can't see him unless you're. Well, we don't have a camera on him. My 14-year-old son is in here, and I talked to Clip a couple weeks ago about bringing him down to the Keep Spinning Academy because he has such a great ear for music. He loves music. He listens to a lot of different genres. But I play around a little bit, and he's a natural drummer. He can't stand it. I tell him that. But he can hear. Like, his ability to beat match and all that stuff is crazy. Yeah. Anyway, long story short is what would be your advice to a kid at like 14 years old who has a desire and a passion that, they want to be an entrepreneur and they really like music and they want to produce and or become a DJ?
don't as his father, don't kill me for saying this.
Okay.
But follow your passion all the way. You know, we're from an era where they said, okay, well, go to college, you know what I mean? Get something to fall back on, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, that has helped in certain elements. But had I, you know, followed my passion and just created my own as a businessman from a very young age, you know, who knows where I would be at this point now. You know what I mean? I had to go through the ranks of going to work and all of that, you know, to get to the point where I said, okay, well, I want to do my own thing. And now I'm doing it, you know, and for, you know, for the last 10 years or so, I've been doing it full time. But at the end of the day, man, like, you know, if college really isn't what you want to do, then don't create that bill. You know what I mean? Don't create that debt for yourself. Follow your passion first. See if you can get that to work and grow. If it can't, then maybe think about that. You can go to college anytime. You can get a degree anytime. There's plenty of people that just graduated 80, 90 years old, man, getting their masters, getting their doctorate, whatever, just because they wanted to do it. So, you know, follow your passion first, but make sure you're doing something that makes your passion work for you. You know what I mean? Don't just have a passion and you're not able to eat and you're not able to pay your bills and you living up under daddy's roof and you 20-something, 30-something years old. Nah, we're not talking about that. Go ahead and start building it now so by the time you get to the point where you're graduating from high school, it's already working for you. You know, so now I have the free time, I have the extra time because I'm not going to school. I can put that energy into really making it grow.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah. What about you, Phil?
If I was to tell a 14-year-old, it would be simple. Learn your craft and keep reinventing yourself. Keep reinventing. Always study somebody, but study them to the point to where you can take what they've done and reinvent that.
There you go.
That's been my thing all these years. I tell DJs all the time, yo, if you live in Dallas, Texas, you got to take your ass motherfucking in the Caribbean. you got to go listen to a DJ in the Caribbean real quick. Go to L.A. Listen to that DJ real quick. Every DJ on this motherfucking earth has one thing they can do really, really well. All right? And you supposed to look at that and be like, oh, damn, that was dope. Let me go back to Dallas and perfect that. All my blends, all my sets are from other DJs, listening to them, and then putting my stuff together, and then reintroducing it. All right? So my word to a 14-year-old would be always study and reinvent.
Got you.
Yeah,
appreciate that. That's word. What about you, Tad?
Biggest advice to, and this is gonna sound crazy, to a 14-year-old would be set your goals higher. Almost set your goals to where they're almost impossible to reach. And what I mean by that is set them so high that when you reach it, it's not really your goal anymore. There's something else above it. So as far as DJing goes, okay, I want to be a dope scratcher and dope mixer. All right, I got that. All right, what else? I want to know how to, use certain effects. All right, I got that. Your goal should continuously be growing. They say short-term goals, but I just kind of say, man, set that goal to where if you fail, and not encouraging failure, but if you don't reach that exact goal, you're pretty soon you'll look down and see that you're light years ahead of anyone else,
For sure.
It's almost like the and I hate to go into history, but it's almost like the Martin Luther King or the Malcolm X. They didn't get to see the production of their work. They didn't get to see the end product of their work. They didn't get to see the Barack Obama in the presidency. But their goal was high enough to where, hey, we can do this. And maybe they didn't see it, but as a result, that's the outcome you get. So not in terms of actually doing that, but set your goals that high. So whenever you look at it, you're like, man, eventually one day I'll reach that goal. So,
man, I appreciate that, brothers.
Yes, indeed.
Man, we are at the top of the 3 o'clock hour, and these gentlemen got to get out of here. And we got to get on to what we're going to do next. I appreciate these brothers taking time out and sharing their journey with us. You can find us at the Get Back Show on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. Isaiah, you can find Isaiah where?
On Twitter at Isaiah E.
at Isaiah E. Where can we find you, J Clip?
You can find me on all social media outlets, J Clip, JAYCLIPP. Also, the Keep Spinning DJ Academy. Keep Spinning DJ, A as in Apple.
And Phil, where can we find you, brother?
Instagram, Twitter, DJPhil04.
Got you. What about you, Tad?
All social media outlets, YouTube included, TAD_NIPS007.
And Jazz is gone. She had to get out of here. She's hosting the castings for some models. You can reach her on Instagram at j.nicole with 2 E's at the end on Instagram. Myself is Mr. Mo Better on Instagram, Twitter, and you can find me on Facebook. If you know my name, you can find me on Facebook, but you can definitely reach me at the Get Back Show on Facebook. Please hit us up. Go follow us on YouTube. We need 100 subscribers so we can change our URL to the Get Back Show, where you can find us easily and we're more readily accessible. Before we leave, we just want to leave you with this. If you're an entrepreneur, or if you know somebody that wants to get into their own business or start their own business, they have a dream, a vision, or a goal, know this. The beginning starts with deciding to. And then after you get to that point, you don't have to be perfect to start. Some of the best things have started out of imperfection, and people that just have had faith enough in themselves and they went for it. And then this last point I want to leave you with, Scott Mount said, chase authenticity, not approval. So the challenge for you this week is to be extraordinarily authentic. Extraordinarily authentic. That's the challenge for this week. Once again, my name is JP Green. This is Isaiah E, and we are the Get Back Show. Sending all our love out to you and our prayers up for you, and we will see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.